Sammy, heel. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. That's it. Very nice. All right, well, here we are back again at Animal Training Development Center. And today we have with us Sammy. Sammy, down. Good girl. Very nice. Good dog. Okay, good. All right, and so Sammy's back with us today for day 10 of her 10-day alpha program. So we're at 10 days of the alpha program training with her, and we've been working really hard at building her confidence. She came to us a little shy, a little bit overwhelmed with the world. She was a rescue from a shelter and probably had a pretty tough life prior to that shelter, as far as I could tell. But we've been working hard, like I said, building her self-confidence and helping lower some anxiety. Okay. She still makes life a little more serious than it has to be. We've been trying to help her lighten up and make things more fun with her, and trying to help her play with some other dogs and see that, you know, a lot of people are really friendly. And I think she's come quite a long way from when she first started. So the thing about her is that she is very, very sweet. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body, really. Like I said, she does take the world a little too seriously at times, and that, you know, manifests itself mostly in just her body language and looking like she's, you know, feeling that pressure. And so we're trying to lighten her up a little bit. I've been doing an awful lot of, you know, just trying to get her to come over and bending down. And you can see she's coming forward now, and it took a long time for her to do that off the leash. When we first started with her, it took a while just to get her back. So if we let her off leash in here and then wanted to put the leash back on her to do some training, she was very difficult to get to, you know, stand still long enough for us to get to her. So she would run off and try to avoid any kind of interaction in the beginning. But she's coming off a long ways from all that. Heel. Obedience is one of those things that really allows for a dog to focus on something other than their own, you know, paranoid thoughts. And so I like the idea of working through anxiety through obedience. Sit. And so as she's learning these different commands and understanding what's expected of her and, you know, working herself through physically and mentally to do those things, heel. It's really helping her, you know, establish some confidence. And you can see even as we start, you know, working through her skills, her tail starts to come up a little bit, and she starts to feel less pressure as she starts to actually begin to perform. And so this is a lot of what we want to continue to see her do, and just to see, you know, where that takes her. Obviously, we like a dog that obeys, but we want a dog that obeys happily, and they're not feeling a lot of pressure to perform when it's really not necessary. So, you know, there are times when, you know, maybe because of the distraction level, the environment that you're in, that you have to have a dog perform through high levels of you know, challenge. But for the most part, you know, we're just looking for a dog that doesn't pull on leash when we go for a walk, and a dog that's kind of, you know, good around our friends and family, and a dog that kind of just enjoys life like we enjoy life. And so that's what we're trying to do, is help her fit into that. So as always, it starts with this idea that when there's a leash on a dog, we want a dog to keep some slack in that leash. And you see, as I walked away there, she put some slack in the leash and kept with me. So, you know, ultimately, if you can hold the leash with just a couple of fingers and go for a walk, come on. And if your dog is able to, you know, kind of stay on a loose leash with you enough to where it doesn't get tight, and you can walk where you want to and enjoy sights and sounds and pleasures. And, you know, you got the prerogative, if you want to let her kind of guide the way. If you want to let her sniff, and she loves to sniff, I've taken her out for walks and just kind of let her kind of go her way sometimes, but again, on a loose leash. So just because she's smelling that, you know, rabbit or whatever it is that she's starting to track, if I decide to go along with her and check that out, I'm really looking for her to keep some slack in the leash, even if she's excited and trying to get forward to see, you know, where that rabbit might have gone. So, you know, the idea is that we can enjoy each other's company without the leash being tight, without us having to, you know, pull on her or her pull on us, and that's where all of our training always starts. And we've been doing an awful lot of that over the course of these last 10 daycare days, working with her through parks and through stores, and we went to Lowe's, and we've been to Rural King, and we've been to the YMCA, we've been to Buckner Park, and so the list goes on up and down the sidewalk here today. Just a lot of good distractions to work around as far as other dogs and people and cars and whatnot. So that's the biggest thing, is just trying to expose her to as many different things as we can, and keeping her training in check and keeping her spirits high. And that's what we've been focusing on with her. Sammy, come. Good girl. Nice. Sit. Good. And that come command, that's one of the most important ones that we teach any dog to do. For her, that was a challenge, because to come means that she is going to the thing that she feels pressure from. And you can see that her tail is starting to come up now as we call her, and she's not looking like she's being forced to come so much as she is kind of eager to do it. And so there again, we've worked hard. You can use treats, and we've used some. So in the beginning, we couldn't even get her to take a treat from us, and that was just another display really of where she felt a lot of pressure. If you really feel like you're in danger, probably you don't even want to eat. And so when we first got her, I couldn't even get her to take a treat from me. But over time, we've managed to help her feel a lot less pressure, to where she's freely taking treats from us and enjoying those treats. Come. Good girl. That's a nice dog. And she's very sweet and very gentle taking these treats. I mean, I just can't say enough about her overall, just I guess meekness and just her sweetness. Meekness and sweetness is what she's got going on. So I think that she's come a long way with that as well. Of course, we teach the heel command, heel, and you've been practicing the heel in your last private lesson. We're going to see you again later for a private lesson and go over this some more, because I do believe the heel command is the most important of all the ones that we teach. And I often say, if your dog is doing really well with the heel command, all your other training comes together. So your down command starts to get better, your come command gets better. Everything looks good when your heel command looks good. But the other side of that is true also. So if your heel command isn't going well, then the rest of your training starts to fall apart as well. So the heel command is the most important, because it requires the most focus on you from Sammy, so that literally every step of the way while you're in the heel command, she should be focused and in the right position and staying connected to you mentally as well as physically in that heel position. And that is something that we look forward to building and building and building as time goes. So this is an ongoing process of developing that connection, just like lovers might hold hands walking down the beach. For a dog and a handler, when I give the command heel, good, I'm looking for that same sort of connection between us. We may not be holding hands, but we are staying connected emotionally as well as physically in the proper heel position, which she's demonstrating here at my left side. Of course, when we stop at the end of the heel, it's not finished until she sits. Good girl. And okay, and I left her a treat right there. Go ahead. Good dog. Again, to kind of take out some of that pressure. So when I stop at the end of the heel, sometimes there's a little treat pile ready for her to go ahead and visit. And you can see that she enjoyed that treat. Come. Good. The next thing that we work on a lot is the down command. Down. And the down one is a tough one for a dog that has trust issues, because it's a vulnerable position. So if the dog isn't completely comfortable around somebody, it's typical for that dog to be resistant to the idea of laying down. And same thing if a dog is super excited, to go lay down and try to watch kids play soccer. It's tough for a dog sometimes, because that activity level is so high and everything. For them to be able to hold it down when they're excited is a difficult thing. But for a dog to be able to do that and actually allow for you to pet it and everything, that's showing that trust is building and that they're not feeling as awkward about it, and they're, developing that ability to just stay in that down position and be comfortable in it, even as distractions start to rise. And really, that's what this last half of our program has been about. And initially, we taught these same commands to her in the first half of your program, and she was doing really pretty well with some of it, but she's come a long way in each of the commands through distraction levels that we've been building and building. So that's something that we're going to, continue to do with you. Get the leash in your hands and help you build her up through the distractions that you're going to face in everyday life, keeping that connection between the two of you. So much of training is all about relationship. So, you can train a dog how to know what these words mean, but in order for you to hand that leash to somebody else and have them give those same words and have the dog perform in the same way, it requires that time and effort in order to establish that relationship. So what we've done is kind of the grunt work and teaching her what the words mean, and then helping her work her way through those commands as distractions go up and up and up. And in so doing, we've built a nice solid bond with her. But what we're looking to do now is really pass the baton on to you, or the leash in this case, onto you, and continue to see you guys build together. I love it when you're finished with your drop-in classes to see that the dog's actually performing better for the handler, the owner, than they did for me. That's always a bright day for me when I see not only did the people get the results that I got, but they were able to go beyond the results that I got, and that's makes me really happy to see. So we've gotten a long way with Sammy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you get a long way with her, and I guess we'll be excited to see together where she ends up in the end. I know that we're hoping that she's going to get to the point where she enjoys people and touching, and so much so that she might even become a therapy dog, and I know that's your desire. I think that she's sweet enough to become a therapy dog, and she's starting to show the interest that I like to see in a dog to do that sort of thing. We just want to see that continue to grow. So we're looking forward to getting the leash in your hands and seeing her progress. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to us. But we do look forward to do the next private lesson with you, as well as seeing you come to some more drop-in classes where you can practice with her around a variety of other dogs and people learning to do the same things as you. So if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to me. But in the meantime, I'd like to wish you guys best of luck. And as always, happy training. Okay, Sammy, good girl. Good girl. Go get it. Go.